Do you have a hard time speaking your truth? Stay tuned because I've got 3 tips just for you. Hey Rebels, welcome back to another Mind Right Monday. I'm your host Bonnie Kelly, and today we are talking about how you can learn to speak your truth. This is probably one of the biggest things that I hear over and over again from my clients that they struggle with, is feeling that their voice doesn't matter, that their needs don't matter, that their truth doesn't matter, that nobody cares about it. Why should I try? Why do I need to speak up? They're not going to get it. It's just going to lead to confrontation. Let me start by saying, I hear you. I get it. I understand how difficult it is to be vulnerable with your truth, especially when your truth is something that is really near and dear to your heart. However, your truth matters. Why? Because you matter. And I know how difficult that may be for some of you to hear, but that's the truth. Anything to the contrary of that is a lie. The thought that your needs and wants don't desire, that's a lie. Maybe there's people that don't value your needs and wants, but that doesn't mean that you aren't valuable or that you don't matter. It just means that right now you maybe don't know how to communicate that, or you're just connected to people who are struggling with their own crap, and so they're projecting it out on you. Easy fix. With skills and tools. So let's talk about 3 ways that you can begin to speak your truth. Diving into the first one, which is get clear and emotionally sober. All right. Now, obviously, we need to get clear with what your truth is. We need to get really in depth in understanding what it is that matters to you. What is it that you need to say that you haven't felt able to communicate, to get out? For whatever reason. So take out what they're going to say. Take away, what other people are going to think, and just sit with a piece of paper and get so clear with what it is that I need to say, where your voice matters. And then we want to get emotionally sober about that. What I mean by that is when your voice has been restricted for so long, there's going to be what I call a pendulum shift, where you're going to go from withholding, quieting, shutting down, numbing out, tuning out, to all of a sudden, when you unleash your voice, it's going to pivot to the other extreme, and it's going to just come emotionally vomiting out all over other people. Well, that's just the extreme opposite of where you're at now. And it's not emotionally responsible. So what we want to do is we want to start with a piece of paper and a pen. We want to get clear with what you want, and then we want to purge the hurt, the anger, the resentment, the pain, the frustration, the sadness, the any emotion that is really blocking or surrounding what you feel of never being able to speak your truth. And so you do so just by writing out, I am thinking and I am feeling, and you just emotionally vomit all over paper. And you may have to do that multiple times to get emotionally sober about speaking your truth. Because the only way that you're going to effectively communicate your dreams and desires is if we can unhook the pain and the hurt and resentment from it. If it's emotionally charged, all they're going to hear is the emotion and not your truth. So start there. All right, this leads me to my second tip, which is know your worth. This is going to be challenging for many of you who haven't taken the time to really know your worth. A lot of us put our worth and our value on what we do, what we have, who likes us, who loves us, what we accomplish, our level of education. Guess what? All of these things are outside of you. And if they're outside of you, they can be taken away from you. To know your worth means that you need to create a new definition of what it means and what defines your self-worth that is not attached to anything in the outer world, that is only connected to you in the innermost sacred parts of your heart and soul. Now, for some of you, you can connect in with your spirituality. right? Whether that's to connecting to God, connecting to Buddha, connecting to nature, connecting to Mother Earth, whatever it is for you, is that you can connect to the divine, connect to something bigger than who you are. And for others, this is really just getting in tune and just knowing that I am worthy regardless of what I do and have, just because I'm alive. And that's enough to know your worth. But get clear with that definition. Decide what that definition is. Unhook it from things that can be taken away from you. And that is going to help you build the confidence needed to speak your truth. All right, this leads me to my third and final tip this week, which is embrace vulnerability. To speak your truth requires you to be vulnerable. And this is probably even more scary than any of the other tips that I said. Because the definition of vulnerability equals weakness. It means that you're susceptible too. But guess what? Vulnerability also demands a great level of courage. It demands you to be able to stand up for what you believe in spite of the obstacles and adversities that lie before you. And when you can recognize that vulnerability is a badge of honor that you get to wear, now what that is it's going to allow you to feel proud and encouraged and empowered by your level of vulnerability. Being vulnerable is a gift that you give yourself and the world because it means that you are able to be seen for the delightful person that you actually are. Not the pretend version of you that you've learned to be to cope with society, but the authentic, quirky, dorky, beautiful, geeky version of you that you are. So I hopefully that this has encouraged or inspired you in some way. If you need more support, reach out to us. Let us know how we can serve you. Tell us your story. Let us help you through this process. And you can find us at getinspired@bonniekelly.me. And if you're ready to take your journey right now to the next level, join my 21-day emotional detox program. You can grab the first 7 days absolutely free, and in 10 minutes less a day, you can have the skills and tools needed to get clear, to get connected back with you and your heart and your desires. Try it now. Links are below. And until next time, I'm Bonnie Kelly.